Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to another meditation. Thank you for joining me today. If you're joining me through Clubhouse or if you're joining me here on my live stream, welcome. And I appreciate you being here. My name is Dr. Brad Lichtenstein, and today we are going to visit mindfulness. Again, it's something that we can always practice and always come back to. And mindfulness isn't a panacea for making everything better. Mindfulness is a way of seeing this moment clearly, to be in this moment, and to actually notice and become aware of all of our mind's movements, all of the ways we distract ourselves, all the ways we try to step away from this very moment. So, to begin our practice today, I invite you to connect before you close your eyes and settle in. I invite you to connect with your intention for being here. Everybody has a different intention. Everybody has a different reason for showing up to this practice today. And it is a practice today. What is your intention? You might think for the moment it could be just simply to relax the wandering, racing mind. Maybe it's to cultivate a little bit more peace in your life. Invite us to take a moment as we think about our personal intention for being here and even expand that a little bit. What would your life be like? How would your day be like? And how would your interactions be if that practice comes a little bit more to fruition? If that desire to relax, to be more at peace, to be more present gets cultivated in this practice today, how will it be for your interactions with others? How will your work be? How will your day be when cultivating that might get a little bit closer? So having that intention in mind, let's start by orienting to our room. I really invite you to look around your physical space. This practice is about being here now, showing up right now. Now, as you look around your room, and I've heard this from many people who've joined me on these meditations, they look around the room and they'll see that pile of books that they want to put away. They'll see those papers they have to file. So we're already in the practice, right? We're in the practice by just looking around the room and naming what we see without any evaluation about it. And you know you're evaluating and judging when you can feel it in your body. So just naming the place. This is my space. This is my place. Here I am right now. And then let's steady the body. And we steady the body so that it is not an object of distraction. So find a comfortable position. It could be an upright position. I prefer to sit in a chair away from a back. But if you need to be propped up with your back, that's okay, with pillows. If you need to lie down today, that works for you as well. And maybe roll your shoulders out for a little bit. Shake your head out just a little bit from side to side. And let's take a big breath in together. We're increasing the nervous system, the sympathetic system. Big breath. We're stretching the lungs. And then letting it out with a sigh. And you can do that one or two more times. And let it out with a soft and gentle sigh. And now for the remainder of your practice, I invite you to set your gaze. So you can do this with eyes open or eyes closed. If your eyes are going to be open, look down about maybe 12 inches in front of you. The gaze is below the horizon. Let the neck be long, and then let the lids half close. If, on the other hand, you prefer to close your eyes altogether, close your eyes. But notice where you place your eyes. Many times when our mind is restless and dancing from one thing to another, so do our eyes. So in this practice, see if you can fix your gaze, even with eyes closed, on a particular point. And the next very often thing we do is settle into this posture. I like to practice feeling the chair beneath me, the floor beneath me. So make contact with the chair or the floor or the cushion or the bed. And the very first thing is bring your awareness to the contact points, those places where your body encounters the floor or the chair. We are so swift to judge. We are so swift to make an assessment. And what I'm inviting you to do right now in this mindfulness practice is to be with the experience, the sensory experience of touch. Perhaps you feel your thighs and your buttocks against your cushion or your chair. Perhaps you feel the floor pressing against the feet. But stay with these sensations for a moment. You might notice a tendency to want to manipulate these sensations, to make them be more comfortable or make them go away or to increase them. And I'm inviting you to take a step back and just observe that. Feel the sensations beneath the feet and the thighs and the buttocks. How are you resting on this chair or the floor? Are you holding yourself up? Are you propping yourself up? Are you bracing against the floor? Many times we're not aware of this. I've noticed this in myself in bed at night. I'm lying there and I think, oh, I'm resting on the pillow. I'm resting on the bed. And I'm bracing my neck. I'm gripping my jaw. So in this moment, feeling the contact points, begin to expand your awareness of your body and notice how you are resting on this chair or floor. And in the next few moments, can you practice allowing the chair or the floor to hold you up? I've heard numerous times how challenging this is for people. They cannot allow their muscles to give their weight over to the chair or the floor. Or as I will say, what's holding it all up? The earth. And it's a different orientation in life. It's about really surrendering and allowing to have the chair, the floor, the earth hold you up. Now, as we practice this for another few breaths, note your tendency to judge yourself. Note your tendency to criticize or critique how you're doing. In a more objective way, are you allowing 70% of your muscles to release? Are you allowing 10%? Is bracing still present? Notice if you got distracted, if your mind wandered. It's not uncommon. So what we're doing is we're always grounding, coming back to the contact point with the chair and the floor. From there, we then notice, how are we fully sitting? Am I allowing myself to give my weight over? This really reflects how we move through our day. Many of us who love the illusion of control feel we always have to brace, ready ourselves for the next shoe to drop. So in this moment, allow the chair, the floor, the earth to hold you up. Feel yourself sitting. Now we're just going to move our focal point, our attention point. We're going to move it from the body and the places it makes contact with the chair, and simply rest it on the experience of the breath. So as you take this breath, this very next breath, intentionally or automatically, notice how you know you're breathing. Some people say that's a strange question. How do you know you're breathing? And mostly we'd say, I feel blank. I feel my belly moving. I feel my lungs expanding. I feel coolness at the nostrils. Again, this is sensation-based. We are gently resting our attention on the sensations of breathing. Now, when I first was learning meditation over 40 some years ago, my teacher used to say, make a mental note. Make a mental note of what you are experiencing. So see if you can rest your attention on the experience of breathing in and out. For some of us, that will really center on the nostrils or the belly or the rib cage. Allow your mind to settle on one. Maybe a few of you feel the whole body breathing. Now, when we're present to the sensation, there's really no words. It's pre-verbal. We're experiencing the sensation. We're fully embracing this moment. But as my teacher said, you can make a mental note. So if my attention is resting gently around the ribs or the belly, my mental note can simply be in and out. Or it could be rising and falling of the belly, rising, falling. And today, my mental note would most likely be stretching and releasing, because that's the sensation or the easiest way for me to describe the actual experience. So we're just resting our attention on feeling the breath. And if you like, make a mental note that corresponds with what you are sensing in this moment. If you find that you get sleepy, you start to nod off, you can always sit up a little bit straighter. You can always open your eyes or half open your eyes. You can always take a deeper breath intentionally, but then begin again. And that's what we're doing with this practice. Invariably, we are always beginning again. So if our mind wandered, we simply make a note of that, wandering, thinking, in a smiling, pleasant way. There goes my mind once more, thinking. Oh, bring it back to this next breath. In, out. And while this practice of mindfulness isn't about controlling our breath, we can sit up a bit straighter, we can lengthen the neck, and we might find, as we do that, softening the arms, softening the shoulders, we may find the breath changes. So we're not practicing any particular way of breathing, any specific rhythm to the breath. And we're practicing compassion to ourselves. We're not beating ourselves up for whatever breath happened. We're not criticizing ourselves if our mind wanders. In a very loving and gentle way, we begin again. I wonder what this next breath will be like. And if you have to begin again 60 times in a minute, every second, That's the practice. Some days the mind will be more focused. Some days it's more easily distracted. But we're showing up. I love to talk about the Olympic athletes, especially this time. They wake up, they train. They might be tired. They might have other things they'd like to do for a moment. But they realize if their intention is getting to the Olympics or doing that triple toe loop, they practice. They don't get stuck in, I'm such a failure. Well, let's see if I can do it again. So inviting you to cultivate this attitude that's inherent in the practice of mindfulness. We're concentrating intently on an object, the breath. When the mind wanders, we bring it back. You might feel an ache or a pain, an itch, a twinge. And when you experience those physical somatic sensations, make a mental note of those. Itch, twinge, pinch. And simply observe it just like you're observing the breath. Does it change? Does it rise and fall away? For the next minute or so of this practice, I invite us to continue to focus on the breath, but really contemplate this nature of impermanence. One reason we love to control is we want everything to be fixed. But nothing in life is. And by just focusing on the breath, we confront immediately the impermanent nature. The breath is constantly in flux. Not only are the breaths different from one another, the whole cycle of the breath is in change. We can bring some peace to our anxiety, our suffering, our worry by fully engaging with this moment. So for the next several breaths, can you bring your attention fully to the very beginning of the breath? Follow it throughout the whole inhalation, all the way to the top. Note the sensations, the quality of experience. The beginning of the exhalation, all the way to the end. And any pauses that might occur along the way. We can't hold on to any of them. A new breath appears. How exciting. Stay with the very next breath. Befriend your breath. Befriend your life. Whenever in life any irritation or impatience arises, even in these practices, note how you're clinging to an expectation of how you want it to be versus how it in actuality is. If you get lost in thought, if you get lost in memories, that's okay. There's no judgment with that. We just make a mental note of that. So I invite those of you who've been here since the beginning to check in. And those of you who showed up, check in with your intention for showing up. Maybe to create more peace, more space, more ease. And notice how you are right now. Before we end, I invite us, if you feel comfortable, to offer some metta, loving kindness to everyone who's practicing with us right now, whether it's on live stream or here on Clubhouse. Or if you want, you can extend it to all those people you love or all sentient beings. May all beings everywhere be safe. May all beings everywhere be healthy. May all beings everywhere be at peace. And may all beings everywhere go gently, knowing their goodness. Thank you for joining me. I love to hear from people. You can reach out to me through my website, thebreathspace.com. I'll be here on Mondays and Thursdays at 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I hope you have a lovely weekend.